Hello and welcome back to APN Live. I'm Jacob Tedford.
And I'm Bradford Yao.
And today we have an exhilarating match between Arcadia and Hoover.
Let's jump straight into and Hoover with the kickoff. Taken by Rolandus Whitener Jr. And he has a lot of room
to the middle
with the spin. And Arcadia will be taking off around the 35-yard just about. And to start off the game, Arcadia will be starting on offense with Max Avila as our quarterback, followed by AJ Lewis and Rolandus Whitener Jr. playing the tailback position.
So, Bradford, what do you think we should expect from this match today?
Well, I feel that's going to be a real big game for Arcadia to bounce back, and here we see Whitener Jr. early. And, you know, this is a real big bounce back game because last week we lost to Burbank Bulldogs by a margin. It was heartbreaking because we led most of the game. And to fall to one of our big rivals for the championship game, it's going to be real. It was real heartbreaking, but we're going to use this game to propel us back into the right direction and go through.
Well, hopefully for Arcadia they can bounce back today.
I believe that's a penalty on Hoover, offside, so that's a 5-yard gain for Arcadia.
We'd just like to warn everyone out there that our stream is about to go down for a short moment because we're switching internets. And we have number 9 going all the way down to the end line.
And that's a huge pickup by number 9, Frankie Contreras. Right as we were about to cut off live stream, Arcadia surprised us with a big 50-yard cut right there. Great movement by Max to find number 9, Frankie Contreras.
And it's for goal here. They run the ball.
And AJ Lewis, confident that we'll be able to, you know, fill up those holes, make those open holes for the runners to run through, and we'll be fine.
Earlier, we heard that there are some players injured. Can you tell us something about that, Bradford?
Yeah, we have 2 middle linebackers out for the game, so Austin Guerra and Abel Cruz have to step in
as Max Avila throws the ball away.
So that's going to put up a 3rd and long situation. And, you know, last week, Arcadia didn't fare well with the 3rd and long situations. They had a tough time targeting the receivers that are downfield, and sometimes they even reverted to running. So it's going to be interesting to see what our offensive coordinator cooks up here.
Flag is thrown down.
And that is a flag on Hoover yet again. So already in this drive, we see that Hoover has gifted us with 10 yards, which is real interesting.
Definitely puts us in a really good position to score here.
I'm going to look for Max to throw it right here. struck back with a touchdown of their own, a 50-yard big reception by one of their receivers, and they just took it to the house. So that led to a score of 7-6. And then 2 straight drives with quick throws from Max to roast Rolandus Whitener Jr. and Frankie Contreras respectively led us to have a score. And also, both teams went for a 20, which is why it is 20 right now.
Arcadia definitely a great position. You're up for getting
Hoover has a gunslinger mentality. Saw someone up, but we saw that person at their own point and ending for it, which is kind of calling and not really sure what the coaches are doing. Right? If we just shut down their offense, they will have this no chance.
On their hands.
Whenever Jake was telling me, whenever he and one of his friends are playing FIFA, when the ball blasts over the crossbar, he always calls that a Fernando shot.
Seem to have a small delay here.
5, and we should be doing a lot better.
Looks like the referees have come to a decision. Stay on by. Being her way once again.
Referee offside kick. Oh, got looks back right. It's so real smart because you notice that he is arcing from the 50 line. And earlier in the game, when we did offside, they were able to make a big run and just get out of the 50-yard line. So, and offside kick really doesn't hurt anyone at this point. Just being the field position, I'm gonna say. I was actually looking at the running back side. Seemed to come out.
It's 2nd and 9.
Interesting is what running makes it right.
Catch it. Now 3rd and 2.
First and shot. One that I would like to see Hoover throwing the ball instead of the bottom of her mouth. One more attack. 5 yards, I mean, so that's that great. Oh, it was a race.
This is a question is called into wing down to.
This is new creation because
and the Arcadia take it down, but I guess we're down as well.
Hopefully, on Hoover. That was actually a real good play. Defense in Alper and to provide that X spark for to step back really fast and just ultimately get the quarterback, but let's just
it's a real scramble from the Arcadia players, but they take down the player. Speaking of highlights, if you do want to see more football highlights, make sure to check out the sports section of the Apache News show, most commonly reported by our very own Bradford Yao.
Yes, I try to compile the best highlights from each game and the biggest highlight reels and just keep to date with our football team, man. If you like funny skits, occasionally sports, you can watch our very own Jake Tedford every single Friday. Maybe tune in, tell your teachers to watch. They feel that they can go for a 4th down and anywhere on the field, so I would imagine that they're discussing a play to try to get a 4th and 4, which is much more manageable than a 4th and 13.
Do you think that the Hoover actually has the ability to go for it on 4th down against Arcadia, or do you think it's just poor planning from the Hoover engineers?
I believe it's due to the skill teams that they have. They might not have 100, but they have a good kicker, which forces them to go for it in the situation.
In the game that Hoover getting tackled on their chin.
Wow! Jack Silverback, huge hit right there.
Yeah, it seemed like nobody was marking number 66, one of the biggest players on the field.
Yeah, it was. The ball snap, and it seemed like nobody ready. And number 66 just swats a punter. Just from probably the best team.
Yeah, that definitely might put a kicker in the third place in this game.
I can see now they want to long snapper coordination and like kicker. I think he's only missed about one throw this whole game. So let's see for him to get a quick slant, or he's rolling left.
The pass is incomplete. It's now 2nd and 6.
I believe it's
third and 6. Excuse me.
That pass intended for number 47, Alex Caliber, falls incomplete. 4th down for Arcadia.
So the commenter is saying 4th down, and it's going to be really interesting to see what Arcadia does here. Because it's at the 26-yard line, and it's about not in the range of Lorendi, so it seems like they're going to go for it.
I don't really see much risk for Arcadia, seeing as they're already up in the second quarter by 26-6, and Hoover don't really look very threatening on the offense.
Look for the bottom player in Roski, number 1. You see, and he does go for
a near interception by Hoover.
That was actually very risky because it went through the Hoover player's hands, and number 8, Deontay, was just right there to pounce on it, but I guess he wasn't expecting it because that was such an easy ball to catch. But
looks like a flag has also been thrown down on the field.
That pass nearly intercepted by number 5 for Hoover, James Chang. James, I'll encourage you not to lament. Remember, it was 4th down. Hoover winds up with better field position, stopping the Apaches on
so
they would have if he would intercept.
Tornadoes take over the ball on loss of downs, and let's see what they can do here. I'm not really sure what they are really good at now because we saw a good mixture of their passing, their rushing, but nevertheless, Arcadia's defense has done a really good job. I guess the goal is just to make them go to 4th down and just force them to make them do a play.
And the Tornadoes call timeout.
It looks like a timeout has been called, and players go back to their coaches.
So Jake, how would you consider or describe the weather conditions tonight?
It's pretty chilly, but I think for those players out in the field, they'll be running enough and moving around enough that they won't really be too cold. But us commentators and all us in the stands, we're feeling a little chilly right now.
Yeah, Jake forgot to bring his jacket, and he's getting a bit cold right here. But for the players, it's a main key to stay warm and just keep moving around, because if you're on the bench and just waiting for your turn to go on offense or defense, you might feel a bit stagnant or cold, as they would say, and maybe perform a bit slower or even risk injury. So it's imperative for these players to keep moving. Another flag. I believe this is the 4th one already for Hoover, and it's only the second quarter.
Maurice Herrera, the Tornadoes moved before the ball was hiked. A 5-yard penalty for illegal procedure.
That's a 5-yard penalty for illegal procedure, and
pushes the Tornadoes back even further.
Players get set once again. Hoover runs the ball
and runs directly into a wall. Seems that the defensive line is kind of pulling it together and really using their physical and height advantage over this Hoover team, because if we can just look at the size differences, it's clear that Arcadia has the advantage.
A keeper by Maurice Herrera on that play will call it a 2-yard gain. 2nd and 13 for Hoover from its own 23.
It is now a 2nd and 13 situation.
If I were Hoover here, I would go for a quick slant, maybe a 3 and in to get some sort of yardage, because right now they're not really getting much on the offensive side.
You know, the game seems to have died a bit from what it was in the first quarter. Do you think that's just the Arcadia players relaxing, the Hoover players already giving up, or do you think it's just as the momentum of the game swings?
Well, I believe that, you know, any first quarter, both teams will try to score as much and just get the crowd fired up. But as you kind of ease into the game and start to know the opposing side and how they play, they'll start to figure it out and kind of prevent those big plays from happening again.
Hoover currently in a huddle. Hoover looks to throw the ball, but the quarterback is taken down. Another tackle by number 54.
Great player right there. And we've seen time and time again this
by number 54, Brendan Reed.
Both lines have just improved from the beginning of the season. Before, we couldn't even kind of penetrate the offensive line of the other team, but now it's just really good for the Arcadia team.
It seems like the Arcadia's larger players are having a pretty good day today. Do you think it's just because the Hoover team's so small, or?
Yeah, precisely. You know, we're just exploiting this mismatch right here, but even last week against Burbank, they were holding their own and just playing very well as a defensive unit. Let's see if the punt right here is butchered again. And this is a very short punt of about 20 yards. I can kind of see now why they prefer not to punt.
Yeah, this definitely highlights the problem in Hoover's kicking. But it's definitely positive for Arcadia. I mean, they start in a good position and can ask for more.
Yeah, they start at the Hoover 40-yard line. All Max needs to do is maybe 3 or 4 run plays and maybe just a shot downfield, and you got yourself a touchdown.
What would you do if you're the Hoover coach right now to try to stop this Arcadia offense?
Knowing that we don't have the physicality, I would make Max throw instead of just running the ball, because that's where Hoover is so mismatched against. So I guess forcing the pass where Max is a little bit weaker is the way to go.
Well, let's see what Hoover does here. Arcadia runs the ball.
And here's Rolandis Whitener Jr.
He nearly gets through.
The handoff to number 1, Rolandis Whitener, around the left side.
As you can see in the replay right here, he just cuts through and just gets around everybody and is stopped by player number 3 and 4.
4-yard gain, 2nd and 6 for Arcadia.
It's now 2nd and 6. It's on the 41-yard line.
We see number 47 right there, Alex Kelleher, in a wide receiver position or tight end position, which is a bit uncommon.
Number 12 gets through pretty well, dodging and weaving. And he bullies his way through for a first down.
12, AJ Lewis.
Great move by AJ Lewis right there, just slicing through that Hoover defense and finding those little holes to just penetrate and ultimately get the first down.
Yeah, number 12, he's very agile, very strong, and he's been definitely showing that in this game here so far. He's been able to bully his way through while also skipping around the defense as well. He runs it again.
And he's still going.
He might go all the way.
Still up somehow.
Taken down right at the 15-yard line.
As I said before, just run the ball. AJ, as you can see in the replay right here, when they hand it off, they can't really stop him. Well, he makes one man rest right there, and he finds the hole, and is just stops right there on a dime, and just keeps moving and finding those holes, and about a 16-yard run right there.
You can see here his strength. I mean, he just has so many Hoover defenders around him, but he's able to stay up for so long.
So it's a throw this time.
Max looks to throw it. And it's a touchdown for Arcadia. Scored by number 8.
Deontay. However, there is a flag on the field, and it is against Arcadia. Not sure what it's about. More than likely going to be a holding, though. Which is a shame, because that was a great route run by Deontay, number 8, and that erases another...
A touchdown, but the play will be nullified as there's a penalty on the play against Arcadia. Appears to have been a holding penalty, taking the ball all the way back to the 31-yard line.
It's a really disappointing foul for Arcadia when they are in such a great position.
Yeah, but it is 1st and 20, and knowing that Hoover's defense is sliceable and, I guess, penetratable, it's looking good. Seems to be a delay right now. Not really sure what's going on. I believe it's the spotting of where the ball is. So, but now it's a 1st and 20 from around the 30-yard line of Hoover.
Okay, you look like they might be running the ball here.
Yeah, I would do a screen pass actually to just get a few yards back. And it's actually a run to AJ, but he's not going anywhere.
He's taken down.
And this puts Arcadia in a kind of tight position, 2nd and 18 about, and yeah, just a touch. What seemed to be a touchdown seems to maybe not even be a field goal if they're not able to get good yardage right here.
Luckily for Arcadia, they've really set themselves in a nice position, seeing as they're so far ahead.
Ball snapped.
He throws it.
He has a lot of time.
Oh, unlucky by the Arcadia player.
Number 47,
Alex Kelleher.
Yeah, he's actually not a receiver by trade. He's actually a defensive end, so I'm not too surprised why he didn't catch that ball. It was a little bit away from him too, but maybe if that was a Whitener Jr., we would see a reception and possibly a way to the house.
It is now 3rd and 18.
And we see Austin Guerra right now as a running back, which we haven't seen him for a while. He's playing linebacker today. And this is a screen pass for Whitener Jr. Has a lot of room to run.
He looks to be clear. And that's a touchdown, even after the players hold his jersey.
Bam, bam, bam. Arcadia 26, Hoover 6. It's just so simple. It's a simple screen pass right here. You can see a lot of great protection, great block by number 58, Milo Loretto. And really, Hoover cannot match the speed of Rolandus Whitener Jr., which sets him up for 26-6, hopefully 27-6 after this point after attempt by Randy.
Randy Ludwig in to try the point after.
And the field goal is good.
And that kick is up and good.
So 27-6 Arcadia. We're looking very good right now because we're up by 3 scores and it's only the 2nd quarter. Maybe we can even get some of the reserves in by the 4th quarter or maybe even the 3rd.
Do you how bad do you think this game could really get for Hoover? Do you think there's really any chance of them coming back, or do you think they just don't have the talent?
I believe it would need to be a personnel change, but as of right now, it's not looking good for Hoover.
34, Fernando Murillo, the one who broke the scoreboard earlier, kicking off.
Let's see if he squib kicks it again. He boots it away.
Earlier, Hoover almost able to get through, but looks like that won't happen this time. And
yeah, great
tackled.
Great special teams coverage right there by Arcadia, and that's kind of been one of the things that we needed to improve on, which is why we often went to squib kick the ball during the game, and maybe an improvement of special teams has led to a lot less yardage contained. And just to remind everyone, there's 4:38 left in the second quarter, so maybe we get another stop, another score. We can just keep tallying up points and ending this game as early as possible.
Hoover snap it. It's a pass, but intercepted by Arcadia. Number 14.
I believe that is a backup that's filling in right now, and what a huge play!
What a moment for him. You know, games like this is where the reserves and the second teamers need to prove to their coaches that they deserve to start, and he did just that.
Yeah, not really sure what the quarterback is doing. It seemed to be no one near that area, or just a bad pass overall, and that was just so readable. So we see our Arcadia offense coming back earlier than expected. Let's see if they can just keep on compiling the misery for Hoover.
Arcadia snap it.
Yeah, hangs on to it.
Throws it, but he's taken down, or runs it, excuse me.
That's a gain of about 1 or 2, but that's not good because, as you know, Max is still not 100%. He's still feeling that ankle that he injured 3 weeks ago, and physical contact to him should be avoided at all costs.
Do you think we can expect him to be replaced halfway through the game if we're up by enough?
If we're up by a good amount, but as you know, our quarterback corps is not very deep, so it wouldn't be too surprising if we see him play the rest of the game, or maybe we let number 9, Frankie Contreras, play as well.
They run it, but Arcadia player is taken down.
That's Whitener Jr., and that sets up a 3rd and long situation right there. Not really sure what the call was right there because it was a 2nd and long. Max has been doing well throwing the ball today, and I'm not really sure what the 2 runs in a row are, but surely they're going to try to throw it on this 3rd and long situation.
Nikolai Carney. Third and 11.
Okay, set up in a shotgun formation. Max looks to throw it.
It's a deep one. There's men open.
That's another touchdown. Another one by Rolandis Whitener.
Guess who? Rolandis Whitener Jr. I believe he's now in the double digits for this season in touchdowns with about 10 or 11. And he's just been, I guess, our best player all season in terms of offensive impact.
Yeah, he's him and our quarterback, Max Davila, they have a real chemistry, and it's definitely showing in their stats.
Yeah, Rolandis Whitener has just been involved in at least, if not half of his touchdown receptions all year, so just been a breakout year for both of them.
He kicks it, and it's good. Score is now 33-6. Excuse me, 34-6.
So I will guesstimate, ladies and gentlemen, probably close to 2 minutes left in the first half.
We have approximately 2 minutes left in this half. Arcadia in a really good position.
I think if we play our cards right, we could even get the ball back and maybe score again if we manage to time correctly.
Based on how Hoover is playing, I wouldn't doubt that.
Yeah, we were up by a solid 4 possessions. Hoover's chance of coming back is extremely slim at this point.
We have number 34, Fernando, getting ready to kick the ball.
Maybe we should come up with a new nickname for him. Maybe we call him the scoreboard breaker.
Maybe we'll have to talk to him about that, I guess. But Hoover, it's a good run, but he's pushed out.
Nice return by number 2, Maurice Herrera on that play.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I believe that it's better to, you know, squib kick the ball instead of just give him the ball, because 2 out of the 3 long kicks that we've seen, they've ended in real good yardage for Hoover.
Yeah, and Fernando's shown in the past, not just in this game, but in other games as well, that he can perform that squib kick proficiently. So maybe the coaches will adjust and try to squib kick it.
Yeah,
next
definitely,
time.
because if you notice, every single time we squib kicked it, it ends in a better result than just kicking it directly to them and just baiting them to run it back.
Hoover snaps.
He keeps it.
And the quarterback's taken down and he tries to run.
Great defense awareness by Arcadia, and I guess that's just highlighted by our defensive ends.
You can see here, I mean, doesn't look like it has much options, and he's just taken down pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's especially number 21, Cesar Harrell. I've been real impressed by him these last few games. He's made a few key tackles and sacks, and just providing that defensive leadership that Arcadia didn't seem to have those 2 losses against Cathedral and Hart.
We try to run it. The player's taken down.
That handoff up the middle to number 16, Alan Malikian. We'll call that a 2-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 7 for the Tornadoes.
It is now a 3rd and 7 situation.
I believe
it looks like a timeout is called.
Yeah, Hoover called timeout, which is kind of interesting. If I were them, I would be interested in, you know, leaving the half early and just not getting even more points put up on me, but seems that they're gonna try to, you know, score before the half.
Maybe Hoover still has some hope. But you can hear from their fans that they definitely don't.
Yeah, to be fair, there has been a lot more fans that have turned up from the Hoover side. I believe there's about, say, 35, 40.
Call that timeout, ladies and gentlemen.
Just to remind you that it's currently 34-6 as the game gets back underway.
And let's see if Arcadia can get a stop to see if they can get the ball back.
Quarterback throws it. It's a long throw. Incomplete.
And that pass from
it's now 4th down.
It makes it a 4th down situation, and seems that Hoover is again going to punt the ball. And let's see if we can get a block right here.
They're on 49-yard line. 4th and 7.
So, do you think Hoover's going to try to kick it here? Or?
Not really sure. They are huddling and discussing about this play. So, well, to be honest, at this point, even if they don't get it, even if they go for it, they have nothing to lose. They are going for it. Dropping back. It's a throw.
It's thrown out of bounds.
And it's incomplete.
That pass was complete, but
turnover on downs for Arcadia. Not really sure what time we have left, but I'm sure we have at least a few good shots for the end zone to make it 41-6, hopefully. Or maybe 37-6 and settle for a field goal.
Let's see what the Arcadia offensive coach can cook up here. Arcadia players take the field once again.
Yeah, these have to be all throw plays now because we have not that much time left, and I believe we still have about 2 timeouts remaining. So if we manage our clock well, we can get in field goal range. And it's a screen pass again. Frankie Contreras has a lot of room.
Ooh, he spins past him,
and he's still going.
And he just keeps on going, but he's taken down. What an excellent run by number 9, Frankie Contreras.
Yeah, I thought he had no room to run around the 40-yard line, but he just spins his way out of trouble.
That pass complete to number 9.
And Arcadia is just trying to do a very fast offense right now. Spikes the ball.
Inside the Hoover 20. The Apaches spiked the ball on first down.
You said earlier they might be able to get a position for a field goal, but it looks like they might even be able to get a touchdown before the end of the half.
Yeah, I believe they're gonna, before they settle for the field goal, they're gonna try to take a shot down at the end zone. 7 points are definitely better than 3. Seems that a Hoover player is down.
You know, in these situations where your team is going down, and a lot of times players just get disheartened, and sometimes injuries that they might play through in a tight game, they come off. Or do you think that's it, or?
It seems that, you know, the player is actually pretty seriously hurt. It's not getting up, but again, like I mentioned, it could be because of the cold weather, and you know how if you don't play for a while and you have to just be suddenly brought back on defense, that might cause like an ankle strain, or maybe even worse because of such the cold conditions going on.
I can definitely say from experience, playing in cold weather, if you rest for just a few minutes, you know, you get very cold, and it's easier to pull a muscle. But the teams both take the field once again.
Championship Series. To the 9th inning they go. Houston 2 and the Yankees nothing.
Well, it seems that there's a fumble, but Arcadia was lucky to recover it right there. As you see in the replay right here, Max actually fumbled the ball, but number 66 was able to recover it. And now it seems that we might be sending out the field goal unit and taking the points.
And it looks like halftime has been reached. It's 34-6.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, to kick off the halftime entertainment, please welcome the Hoover Dance Team.
And welcome back, Bradford. Can you give us a recap of that half? What's your analysis on it?
That was a real exciting half. We saw that there were a lot of, you know, big points. 34-6, real good halftime score. That could be as good for that's even good for a final score, but to see that we're putting up a lot of points in the first half alone is just a real good sign, and just hopefully things are going to continue that way and the tempo doesn't slow down in the second half.
Well, hopefully Arcadia can keep on scoring touchdowns and providing an entertaining game. We'll see you in a bit.
Oh, there seems to be.
Looks like there might be a scuffle, maybe even a fight.
Wow. This would be terrible for Arcadia as quite bad actually.
I'm not really sure what happened.
Yeah, just
Players definitely have each other's backs.
Yeah, chemistry, and I feel that's if not the most important thing on a team, just having love between everybody and just having each other's backs, like you said.
Yeah, because ultimately, football, it's a game that brings each other us together. So it's good to see that our players are happy with each other.
It's good to see our football team to be other teams on the Arcadia standpoint, such as. Oh, and as we can see here, there's a big turnout for Hoover side.
They might even have 50 people. It's pretty cool.
This is as you can see, the crowd. I'm not sure about you, but Jake, the crowd has been a huge factor.
I mean, they're on their feet. They're cheering. It's really been a big turnout for Hoover. Not really sure.
Like. Pretty sure we're discussing whether or not the position is correct, but set the record will officially start play very shortly. Side note, we see number 10, warm up on the sideline. That's actually our backup quarterback, so to see Vince get Max out early, give him some rest, and maybe see number 10 just develop.
We've already seen number 14 players, some of the reserve players, section players, hopefully number 10 for Arcadia.
Number 1 is still running.
Hoover.
Good run.
Number 1's a quarterback running pretty far. Do you think that was a plan, or do you think it was a lack of options?
That was definitely a plan. Right when he got the ball, he knew where he was going, and if I'm to be honest, number 1 probably was a running back by nature, but ultimately got converted to become a quarterback, which is pretty common for most modern-day quarterbacks. We see earlier opponent, Brown Cathedral, was once running back, but he grew and he became a quarterback.
Okay.
Number 1 immediately flushed out from the pocket. I can see they're making him lead to bad things, and from a Hoover perspective. So for Arcadia, that's good, and just make no one throw the ball, and it should be good for the rest of the night.
Obviously, you can see it. Hoover's not having the greatest game offensively nor defensively, but in offensive terms, what do you think? It looks like it's about 4th and 10 here.
I believe maybe even more. I'll be very surprised if Hoover go for it here. This is, like I said,
but we see it in the past in this game.
And so that's very good. He was trying to I'm not sure if they're there.
Looks like timeout is all.
A full miss on the punt, but here's the thing: he ball on number 1, Rolance White Jr., who already had a few big turns from punt this season alone. So it's kind of a pick type.
And definitely, Hoover's kicking is many mistakes. Earlier. So
We'll try on, but if we're trying to punt it with Rolance Whitener Jr., who is really a big impact, and easily, I could see him running back right if they give it to him.
It's a very, very, very. Sorry for that short delay. It's currently 40 per hour. Extra point was lost.
Now, put the 4th down to Hoover. Now, what they're going to do is they start for a few minutes. Well, they're going to get as much as
currently minutes in the third quarter.
And then an Arcadia standpoint, try not to get many people injured, get people back, get a lot of minutes, and just overall a good experience with their injury, then they'll be able to step up and, you know, provide a role.
So earlier asking gives a lot closer possibility for him to come back. You know, for Jordan right here, it's a
minutes in the grand quarter. It is possible, but it's not likely. Very big right now, especially since Arcadia's going to start into the, but they can back in time. I believe Arcadia's still right.
And for the kick, we see him for having next time now.
Kick. That was her heads play.
He's a smart decision for who to do this kick.
Because we got down 4 sessions and hitting back. It was potentially 2 players.
The Apaches will take over 1st and 10 at midfield.
And here's something very interesting. Dylan and Austin Guerra in the backfield together. As you know, they're actually brothers, which is cool to see.
If we can get a brotherly connection
number
here.
10!
And it looks like it. Number 10 on a great run. He might go all the way.
He steps out of bounds just a bit, but as you can see right there, number 10, Dylan Guerra, with a huge explosive play. Just runs through everybody.
We talked earlier about the second teamers, you know, trying to shine this game when, you know, they're finally got their opportunity, and I mean, you can't ask for much better than that from your backup quarterback.
Yeah, he's what you call, like I said, a dual threat quarterback, and he just reads it well. He sees that the defensive ends collapse on the running back, and he just takes it for himself, and just he even looked like a running back out there with that speed.
We also talked about, you know, team chemistry being very good on Arcadia, and you see when the two brothers connected there, they almost scored a touchdown.
Definitely. It seems like they're all brothers out there, and just been real good chemistry-wise. And just like the commentator said, it's the end of the third quarter, so we have to just ride it out, see if we can score a few more points, get some more experience, and hopefully we can get a big Apache win.
And just as a reminder, it is still currently 40-12, Arcadia are up, going into this fourth quarter. Teams go and take the field once again.
Oh, you got me?
Yeah, look for their Dylan to maybe do another one of those read option plays, but hand it off to Austin this time. Maybe just try to draw some trickery and just use that success from the previous play to kind of trick the team.
They go for a 2-point conversion, and they look to get through.
A touchdown, Arcadia. Great run yet again by Austin Guerra, and like I said, they go for that read option play, and they did this time give it to Austin, and it was good. Let's see if the PAT is good enough to make it 47-12.
And it's good.
So that drive right there was solely based on the Guerra brothers hooking up and just making a 50-yard drive, which is real cool to see, especially considering that both did not see much game time.
And that now brings a score to 47-12. Arcadia in an excellent position going into the end of this game. I mean, you really don't have to do much. You just have to defend.
Yeah, just got to defend, possibly put it in a position where we just run the ball out and hopefully just take a knee at the end.
And we have another kick being set up by number 34, Fernando Murillo, a.k.a. the score breaker, seeing as he broke the scoreboard earlier in the game.
Yeah, it seems that he has found a new nickname. Not sure if he's going to like that, but definitely cool and set.
And
34.
Number 2 on Hoover drops the ball and puts Hoover in a really bad position offensively.
Yeah,
and weren't already.
Yeah, and if you remember, right when they were at the 10-yard line last time, they ended up throwing a pick. Let's see if we can see something similar to that. Yeah, it seems that Arcadia has subbed in most, if not all of their subs, clearing their bench and just resting all of their starters. I see a few different players, notably number 24, Ethan Connor as the free safety.
You know, you said earlier, at the very beginning of the game that you thought this game would be a good chance for a morale boost for Arcadia, and it definitely looks like, they're laid back out there.
Yeah,
it looks like they're having fun.
Yeah, it seems in the bench that they're just really happy right now and just enjoying themselves. They can finally, it's the first game where they can comfortably sub out players and clear the bench and just give players like Max, Rolandis Whitener Jr. just some time off and just lessens the risk of injury.
As you can see there, there's a gain about 4 yards. It's now 2nd down.
Yeah, our apologies if we're not able to get the spotting right. The scoreboard is kind of broken, and there's no real gauge of how accurate the spotting of the plays are, so our apologies on that.
Yes, our apologies, but we'll definitely be trying to do our best for you guys. Hoover tried to run it through, but player's taken down.
Quarterback Andrew Rangel was nowhere to go on that play, brought down by the Apache defense.
Yeah, it seems that number 21, Cesar Haro, again, just being in the right place at the right time and just making a big play like such. That puts a 3rd down situation for Hoover. Possibly we can pressure them and force them to perform a pick.
3rd and 8 for Hoover at its own 13-yard line.
Hoover gets set. Looks to be a miscommunication between the Hoover players.
They call a timeout because of that, and I'm not really sure what they wanted to do, so it was a smart decision.
Timeout, Hoover.
So you saw that miscommunication by Hoover. Do you think that's just a lack of focus, or is it just another lapse of discipline and judgment by the Hoover coaches?
Well, I believe that, just at this point of the game, everybody is tired. There's just Hoover essentially conceded to defeat and have accepted that they're not going to win, and that kind of puts it in a disheartening mood for the Hoover team, which is probably why they have not been as sharp in the 4th quarter.
Whistle is blown, the game gets back underway. They throw it, it's a good throw. Hoover player's taken down. That'll be a 1st down.
That pass complete to number 8.
And for the first time first time in a while we see Arcadia, we see Hoover throw the ball, and that ends into a positive yardage, because before we saw that Hoover would just, just throw the ball and it would just really go nowhere. They got most of their attack on the run, but as you can see here, throwing the ball seems to have a better outcome.
Number 1 for Hoover tries to run it through, but he's taken down hard.
A nice game on a quarterback keeper up the middle.
It's another time that quarterback has ran.
Second one for Hoover.
What do you bring that down to?
Like I said, that's just been their best play all game. Every time they would just do that quarterback read option where the quarterback keeps it for himself, it's just been positive yardage, and that's just been, I guess, a real go-to play for Hoover.
It's a long throw, and it's caught. The players push out of bounds. Another positive play from Hoover. We said earlier that comeback is very, very unlikely, and although it still is, this is better from Hoover, much more positive.
Yeah, it's good to see that even though they seem to have taken the L, they're just keeping their heads up and just doing what they've been doing, some positive things that they can carry to the next game, such as against weaker opposition.
Hoover quarterback is taken down, getting no yardage, actually losing about 2 yards.
Yeah, and again, even tired and late in the game, we see on both sides our defensive ends just taking down the quarterback and just showing no mercy. Seems to be a delay, but Hoover is now getting the ball back.
Looks to be another throw. And an excellent catch. And a Hoover touchdown.
Yeah.
After a 4-yard loss.
Very interesting, as we see that the Hoover player has a big arm and ends up a 38-yard touchdown, which is something that I really didn't expect from this quarterback, where he just kept running the ball.
I mean, I think he's definitely been their best player, wouldn't you agree?
By far, this quarterback, if there's one bright spot to this team, it's definitely the quarterback. He can run, as we can see by this drive, he can throw the ball, and it's been very good.
Just a reminder, it is now 18-47. Arcadia are still up. It's the 4th quarter. Hoover get ready for this extra point.
This is most likely going to be a 2-point conversion attempt. Not really sure why. Oh, yep, they're lining up to doing a 2-point conversion. They're looking to throw right through the hands, and it's no good.
And that pass falls incomplete.
And
so at some point here in the 4th quarter,
the pass is incomplete, and it still remains to be 18-47 Arcadia.
Number 18.
So now we see the Arcadia offense coming back to the field, and maybe let's us see another chance of Guerra brothers and see if they can replicate that great drive from the last time.
It was definitely a very excellent play by the two of them. They're going to hopefully be able to recreate that.
Yeah, hopefully we can just see a lot more creative running plays. Maybe we use that tailback and shotgun hybrid formation as we saw in the past few games. Maybe we could try that with a few different players that usually don't see as much time on the field.
Seems to be a small pause on the field right now. And looks like that's the end of the game.
Not really sure what happened there, but it seemed that they kind of conceded at that point.
And the final score is Arcadia 47, Hoover 18. Good game for Arcadia, bad game for Hoover.
Yeah, it was actually a very fun game to call. We saw a lot of everything. We saw a lot of great offensive touchdowns through the run, through the throwing. It's just been a really good game to call.
Hoover 18.